All right. Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at a Hindi language film called Chote Nawab.
Okay.
It was released earlier this year in February, and our main source material is a review from the website and app MovieKaTicket Films Review. And they gave this film a 3-star rating,
Oh.
and they called it compelling, if somewhat slow-paced.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, I actually quite like slow-paced movies.
Yeah.
But what actually makes a movie good if it's not action-packed and full of explosions?
Well, I think it's this thing called slow cinema. So, you know how sometimes you just want to have a nice cup of tea
Yeah.
and just relax? It's kind of like that. It's not like a shot of espresso. It's more like that
Yep.
kind of slow burn.
Right.
It's a style of filmmaking that really prioritizes things like atmosphere, character development, and realism over a plot that's really fast-paced and exciting.
I see.
So it's more about soaking in the experience rather than being like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? You know?
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
And there are some great masters of slow cinema, like Satyajit Ray, who's an Indian filmmaker, and more recently, Tsai Ming Liang.
Interesting.
Yeah, they really draw you into the characters' lives, and you really feel like you're experiencing things alongside them.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Like when I saw New for Love a couple years ago, I was just completely captivated by the pacing and the atmosphere. So how would you say that this film, Chote Nawab, kind of embraces this style?
So the review mentions that the movie is set in Lucknow.
Okay.
And Lucknow is a city in India known for its history, its architecture, and its amazing cuisine.
Wow.
So it's kind of like a place where you have Mughal-era grandeur, those beautiful palaces and mosques, and then also modern aspirations. And the review actually mentions a scene at the Bara Imambara, which is this incredible 18th century architectural marvel.
Oh, wow.
So imagine the camera lingering on the intricate arches, the play of light and shadow.
Yeah, yeah.
It just creates this atmosphere that is so rich and immersive.
Yeah, and that really contributes to that slow cinema feel, right?
Exactly. And I think it also sets the stage for the internal conflicts of our protagonist, Armaan.
Oh, yeah, Armaan. So the review describes him as a conflicted soul caught between tradition and modernity. And he's played by Akshay Oberoi.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah, and I think that really resonates, especially in India today.
Yeah.
It's a country going through so much change, globalization, technology, all of that.
Good.
So what kind of specific conflicts would you say, do you think, the film might be exploring through his character?
Well, there's a lot to unpack there, right? I mean,
Yep.
think about the societal shifts in India. Technology is booming, gender roles are evolving, there's this huge economic disparity, between the haves and the have-nots.
Right.
So Armaan could be dealing with a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like maybe his family expects him to follow tradition, maybe in his career or in his marriage, or maybe even in his personal belief, while he's yearning for something more, something different.
It's interesting.
It could also be the tension between religious customs and secular values, which is a huge debate in India right now.
Absolutely. And then we also have Fauziya, the character played by Plabita Borthakur. The review calls her a refreshing blend of strength and vulnerability.
Oh, I love that.
I know, right? And it's so refreshing to see, well-rounded female characters on screen. They're not just one-dimensional.
Absolutely. It's so important. For too long, women have been portrayed as either the damsel in distress or
Right.
the super strong, action hero. And in reality, women are complex.
Exactly.
They can be strong, indie, vulnerable. It makes them so much more relatable and so much more real.
Exactly. And you know what else I found interesting? The review mentions this younger character, Junaid, who's played by Svar Kamble.
Mhm.
And apparently his character really ties the emotional threads of the narrative together.
Interesting. Child actors, when they're good, they can be so powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's they have this way of just cutting through all the BS.
Yeah, they see right through everything. As adults, we build up all these walls and defenses, but children just kind of see things for what they are.
It's that innocence,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And I think that's what makes them so compelling on screen.
Yeah. So maybe Junaid is it, the bridge between the older generation and the younger generation.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a good thought.
He represents that sort of clash between tradition and modernity
Yeah,
in a more innocent, pure way.
I like that.
Now, we also have to talk about the music,
Yes.
because the review actually highlights some of the tracks. So we have Laado and Paason Khel.
Okay.
And they describe these tracks as having a lyrical undertone and a melodic echo. So what do you think that means in terms of the film?
Well, I think it suggests that the music isn't just background noise.
Yeah.
It's really woven into the storytelling itself.
Yeah.
So lyrical undertone to me implies that, maybe the lyrics are subtly reflecting the characters' inner thoughts, their struggles, their hopes. And then melodic echo, I think that might refer to the way that the music kind of lingers even after a scene is over.
Oh, yeah.
Like it kind of stays with you and it amplifies the emotional impact, like a
Mhm.
memory. So imagine a scene where Armaan is really torn, like he's trying to choose between what he wants and what his family expects of him. And the music, it just sort of underscores that tension, it just adds this extra layer of emotion.
Right, and that's something that viewers can really pay attention to when they watch the film.
Exactly. Listen to the music, pay attention to how it makes you feel.
So we've got these interesting complex characters. We've got this idea of cultural shifts and this slow burn style of filmmaking. What do you think is the most intriguing aspect of the whole thing?
I think for me, it's really that exploration of those internal conflicts, against the backdrop of this rapidly changing society. It's such a universal theme, right? That push and pull between who we are and who we're expected to be.
Yeah, that's a great point. And, I think for all of you listening, like, it's worth asking yourself, what do you look for in a film?
Yeah.
Some people love action movies. Some people really enjoy these more quiet, contemplative films. Chote Nawab sounds like it could be one of those. So
Yeah.
maybe give it a watch, see what you think.
And as you're watching, think about this. What parts of your life, your cultural background, your family, the values you were raised with create conflicts for you? It's something to really think about.
That is a great question to leave everyone with. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.